Fabulous people, before you book your trip to Italy, let me share with you 3 times of the year you should definitely avoid, or at least think twice about it. After living in Italy for over a decade and having a travel agency that specializes in bespoke trips to Italy and Greece, I've learned a thing or two about the best and the worst times to travel to the land of La Dolce Vita. And today I'm going to share with you 3 worst times to visit Italy. While the ideal timing depends on the experience you're after, some periods are undeniably less favorable due to the overwhelming crowds, soaring costs, and challenging weather. Now, before we begin, please remember to smack that like button. And if you're new to my channel and my vibe, and the vibe of this channel resonates with you, I invite you to subscribe. Alright, fabulous people, let's get started. One of the worst times to travel to Italy is anywhere between the end of December and beginning of January. There are so many reasons why I wouldn't recommend traveling to Italy during the holidays. Where do I even begin? Number 1, the days will be very short, leaving you a very limited amount of time to go and explore and enjoy the outside during the daylight, comparing to the tourists who travel to Italy during, let's say, spring or summer. Plus, I feel like during that time of the year, my energy is at its lowest. You go to the Vatican museums or to Borghese Gallery in the late afternoon, you come out at, let's say, 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. and it is dark, it is cold, and it feels like it's 10 p.m. and time to go to bed. Number 2, Italy during Christmas slows down. A lot of family-owned restaurants will be closing for the holidays, and a lot of local attractions will have limited holiday hours, with most of them being completely closed on Christmas Day and New Year's Day, to no surprise, of course. So you will have to navigate around all these things and adjust your travel itinerary accordingly. Now, if you plan on visiting northern Italy and cities like Milan, most likely during this time of the year it will be snowing. So if you're dreaming of sitting outside with spritz and people watching, unfortunately, this is not the best time of the year for that. On the other hand, most top Christmas markets in Italy are located in the northern part of Italy. So if you're interested in exploring them, this might be the best time of the year for you. And of course, if you want to explore some of the best Christmas markets in Rome, I will make sure to leave you the link in the description down below. Now, for those of you who are dreaming about visiting the Amalfi Coast, unfortunately, you will have to postpone your trip until warmer time of the year. Amalfi Coast is seasonal, so if visiting Positano, Praiano, Rovello, Sorrento is a must-do in Italy for you, then you should know that Amalfi Coast season begins around March and lasts until late October. So if you plan on visiting the Amalfi Coast outside of those months, unfortunately, most places will be closed. Finally, a lot of Italians will be off work during this time of the year. So be prepared for big crowds in Italy during the holidays, which also comes with a big price tag for most flights and accommodations. Rome in December gets extremely crowded, especially towards the holidays. So if you are somewhat flexible with your dates, I recommend traveling to Italy in January, after the first week of January, as most restaurants will be opened, most things will be operating as usual. And if you are a budget-cautious traveler, it is important to know that mid-January is one of the best and cheapest months to travel to Italy when it comes to flights and accommodations. Plus, holiday travel in Italy, just like anywhere else in the world, is a bit stressful, sprinkled with frequent delays and big crowds at the airports and train stations. Now, if you plan on traveling Italy by train, I just released the most comprehensive guide on traveling Italy by train that I will make sure to leave for you in the description down below. Next on the list of the worst times to visit Italy is Easter week. Of course, unless you specifically want to be here for Easter. As you can imagine, Easter is a major holiday in Italy, attracting visitors from around the world to participate in religious celebrations in Rome and Vatican City. This consequently leads to much higher prices for accommodations and flights and big crowds for all the main landmarks in Rome, be it Colosseum or St. Peter's Basilica. And if you're planning a trip to Italy by yourself, you will need to take into consideration a lot of things. For example, when St. Peter's Basilica is going to be opened and closed for visits, the best time of the day to schedule tours to avoid the crowds, which restaurants will be open, etc. So my advice to those of you who plan to visit Italy and Rome in particular during the Easter time is to start planning your trips as early as possible. Pretty much as soon as the new year starts, begin your planning process. For example, last year we had a few families that we organized a trip to Italy and of course a visit to Rome during Easter time because that was the only time when they could travel, and of course they really wanted to include the Eternal City into their itinerary because it was their first time in Italy. So we started the planning process as early as January, and because of that and our strong partnerships with some of the most stunning properties in Italy, we were able to secure for them the most beautiful accommodation with the views on Colosseum. Guys, it was epic. And of course, throughout their trip, we had to stay in constant communication with their tour guides, especially for the Vatican museums, as it is not uncommon for St. Peter's Basilica to close in preparation for the festivities around this time of the year. And of course, fabulous people, if you're dreaming of an unforgettable trip to Italy without the stress of planning, then I have the most perfect solution for you. At My Fabulous Vita travel agency, we specialize in creating tailor-made travel experiences so you can focus on enjoying your journey while we handle the rest. From hand-picked accommodations and seamless transportation to curated tours, unique activities, and even restaurant reservations, we take care of it all. And when you travel with us, you will have your very own dedicated travel concierge available every step of the way. Whether it's last-minute changes, navigating train strikes, or dealing with unexpected cancellations, we've got you covered. And of course, I will make sure to leave you the link to the concierge service of my travel agency in the description down below. And of course, August, especially the middle of August. This is probably my least favorite time to do Italy travel, or to be in Italy for that matter. And of course, the main reason for it is the heat. It becomes really hot and humid around mid-July, and towards August it just becomes unbearably hot. And as you will be spending a lot of time outside walking and exploring, you will have to time all your outside tours, like a tour of Pompeii or Roman Forum, for as early in the morning as possible. Italy in July, especially the second part of the month, is extremely hot and humid. But nothing, absolutely nothing, can prepare you for Italy in August. Not only you will have to deal with constant heat waves in Italy, but also Ferragosto closures. Please remember that August 15th is one of the biggest holidays in Italy, Ferragosto, which means that the entire week most family-run restaurants, shops, etc. will be closed. A lot of times they stay closed until the end of the month, and some even the first week of September. Of course, with years, less and less places close during this time of the year, but still, a lot of them do. And of course, if you plan on traveling to Italy in the summer, please remember that a lot of places, including hotels, trains, ferries, beach clubs, in popular beach towns as well as mountains, will be booked months and months in advance. Also, the prices will be sky high for those places, and the crowds will be absolutely unbearable, especially in August, as not only the entire world travels to Italy, but also all the Italians will be on vacation during this time. So if you can avoid traveling to Italy during the holidays, definitely do. Well, fabulous people, thank you so much for watching this Italy travel guide. I hope that now you know exactly when not to visit Italy. And if you're planning a trip to Italy and want to learn more things you need to be aware of, then the next video I recommend for you to watch is my 10 biggest mistakes people make when planning a trip to Italy. And of course, I will make sure to leave you the link to that video in the description down below. And it will also pop somewhere here or here, so you will definitely be able to find it. And if you're interested to learn the best months to visit Italy, then please leave me a comment down below, let me know, and I will make sure to make a video on this topic for you next. And before you go and start planning and packing for your trip to Italy, please remember to smack that like button. And if you're new to my channel and my vibe and the vibe of this channel resonates with you, I invite you to subscribe. And I truly hope to see you all in my next video.